Hey, I'm Vince, and welcome to the Remote Accountants and Traders channel. And today is Costco's earnings call. Yay! It's Thursday, December 8th. I'm sorry, and I had to wait here at Pacific Standard Time until the close of the market here, over here at 1 p.m. And then Costco's call actually came about an hour after that or so. Before I get into it, guys, just make sure you can pause the screen. You can read this disclaimer about investing. There are risks involved in investing, so just make sure you do your own research. This channel is for educational purposes only. So let's get right into it here, guys, for Costco. I've been posting several videos on this, guys. This will be part 4 of the video. I'm actually going to do a 5th one tomorrow to talk about the movement in the stock, since it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens. But what you see right now, guys, here at this particular time is the after hours movement of Costco stock, right? So here at 4 p.m. today, the market closed, and at the Costco closed at about 481.42 there, you'll see, in US dollars there, and it had a slight bump up there after hours, and then you see this drop over there. Now this drop looks dramatic, right? But that's a one-day view. And you'll see in my prior videos that I've been posting about this, and guys, do go check those part 1, 2, and 3, because it's really great about seeing kind of the dynamic of Costco and where we're at, right? Kind of help you understand what's going on with the trends. Is that you see that last week they had a announcement that sales were a bit sluggish, and so because of that, we had this huge drop that went in Costco, relatively huge, went from 539 down to 503 right away. You're talking about basically a one-day movement over there. And then after that, it kept going down. So for a company like Costco that's already highly valuable to begin with, one begins to ask, well, if it's going down this much right away, how much further is it going to go down? So you had to kind of take a look at where you might be standing in the charts and what to expect. And so what's interesting about this, guys, if you look over here, we saw that we had 454 as a prior low and then 446. If we go way back to June, this is a 6-month time range that we're looking at over here. So when we were looking at it in this range over here, the 481 range, you already see that it would have to go down significantly more to the 464 or the 446 in order to break that level. And so it's already taken a bit of a dip right there. So what's interesting about Costco is that it is a company that does well, especially during a recession. And so when it has these kind of discounts and these dips, one of the option strategies to think about is a put. Now, I'm not going to talk about options in general on this channel. If you guys need to do some research on what our options are about with stocks, you can look online and find that. I might do some videos to talk about that, but this video, I just kind of assume that you'll either do your research or know about them already. But if you were to place a put option or sell put option and be placed those shares of Costco, it would actually be probably a pretty good strategy, because if you look at that where Costco was at 454, and that was way back in October, that right away over here you see that it's already taken a discount, and so it all depended on this earnings call. And so keep in mind, guys, that when you place a options call or a put on an earnings call, you do get higher premium, so you get paid more for the option or for the put. That being said, a lot of traders do not trade on earnings calls because it's a bit risky. You don't know which way it's going to jump, and that's definitely true. But when you have a company that's very large and very relatively stable, like a company like Costco, and it's already taken a discount, one begins a question like how much further it can go down. So if it's already trading at 481 here, you begin to ask, saying, if you see puts that are in the, say, the 455 or 460 price range, strike range, I should say, that you'll see that the premiums are quite high even for those because of the earnings call. But then if you take the 460 put, for instance, you'll see that you'd have to go back to October to get something that's even below 460. But here it's 454, and again you have to go way back to see that one that was at 446. So the chances are very remote that it would go that far down. Now again, guys, we're looking at the one-day time frame over here. We still have yet to see more action in Costco in its stock movement. And so right away we see that it's now at 480. So for that to go down, if you were to take a put, say at 455, or even up to 465 or 470, it would have to go down 10 points, $10 over there, or even further than that, depending on where your put was at, to even reach that low level. So it seems like a pretty good way to collect the premium on that put Or if you, again, if you were to, try to get the shares, you can move that put even higher and try to get the shares at 480 and get a nice premium on it. But it's a great way to try to trade Costco over here. And let's just do this real quickly so we can understand this. And this one thing about my channel I want to get into more about this. I'm an accountant, by the way, guys, just so you know. I do financial statements and balance sheets all the time. And so I want to dive into more of the nitty-gritty details of financial statements, because I don't see a lot of people online even doing that, and perhaps because they just fall asleep when they they look at it. But we'll try to keep everyone awake on this channel. So here's the revenue, guys. And this is the revenue for Costco that was just reported. And so you guys, if you go over here and you see about its earnings per share, you'll see that it was expected for this particular call that happened today at 316, and that was the earnings per share, and the revenue was at 54.68 billion. So let's take a look at that, right? It's not reported here yet, but it just happened. So on this channel, I'll try to give you up-to-date information. Again, today is December 8th, right when Costco had its earnings call. They have yet to update this information just yet. This is on Google. But if we go into Costco's financials, where anyone can find this, you have to go to Costco, go to Investor Relations. You can pull up the financial statements to understand, what's going on with the revenue and expenses and everything else. You can pull that up and see that information as it's posted on the earnings call. So here we are, guys. Let's first look at the earnings per share, because that's what was reported before. We see that we came in slightly lower, right? 307. Over here, we have 316. So it's actually slightly lower, right? And let's look at the revenue over here. Right over here, we were expecting 54.68 billion revenue. And over here for the revenue, we have 54.4. So it didn't miss it by a whole lot, as you can tell by these numbers here. So that's one of the reasons why you see for this earnings analysis over here, the stock movement on this, that the stock has not moved that much more. Yeah, it was lower than expected, but wasn't such a huge surprise where it's going to, dive down 20 or 30 points. So that's why we get into that analysis once again, that if you were to trade a little bit ahead of time on this and get a put, that you could have, made some nice premium on that. Now, of course, one could argue that, we didn't know that these numbers were going to be this. Costco could have very well come in with revenues that were, 20% below what you see over here and down here, maybe 30%, and the stock would have taken a dive. That's definitely true, and I understand that philosophy on that. And sometimes with your analysis, guys, and it's not just to be Costco alone, it could just be any company that you happen to be researching, that if you feel that the company is relatively stable and relatively large, you have to take a look in terms of where it is trading at currently. And what I've said in my prior videos, guys, is ask yourself, would you like to trade that stock? Would you like to own that stock? So if you put in a put, right, you sell a put, you're going to own the shares at the end of the expiration date. You ask yourself, would you like to own the shares of that company? And for me, I'm like, yeah, Costco is a great company. I mean, I shop there. It's always busy when I go over there. I know the company continues to make money, continues to do well, as evidenced by, you see the earnings here. And so given that, I wouldn't mind owning Costco shares, but I would like to own those shares at a discount, not buying them at 481, but perhaps buying them at 470. And rather than waiting for that to drop down, you could sell a put and say, hey, if the stock happens to go down at this level, which is very far down, 454, and usually it trades in $5 increments when you do options, or it's not. Let me rephrase that. For Costco stock, I think it's $5 increments for the strike prices. And so you cannot sell a put at 454. You'd have to do it at 455 or 450, around that range. I believe that's how it works for the options on Costco's stock. So, but in any case, we'll say it's at 455, right? Which is right about that range right there anyway. It's just a little bit off that mark. You would basically put those shares, you'd own those shares if the stock happened to jump way down that level. And as we said before over here, it already took a dive over here. It already had gone down significantly. So for it to go from 481 down to that 455 is very, very low. But the great thing about it is, guys, is that if you saw that premium, what it was selling for before the earnings call, it was a really nice premium that you could have collected on that. So I mentioned this because, one of the things I want to talk about more on my channel is about, premiums that you can collect on options. That's one of the great things about option contracts. Whether you're selling a call or you're selling a put, that you can collect these great premiums if you happen to know a little bit about the company and you trust in the company and just kind of happen to follow it. So I hope this analysis has helped you out, guys. It was great to see Costco. I'll post one more video, and that'll be about Costco's movement in the stock tomorrow. Now, again, past performance is not an indicator of future performance. I want to make that clear with everybody. It's a part of my disclaimer, of course. But I will be interested to see tomorrow, guys, about what the stock does. Let's go to that one-day time frame over here. Here we're seeing at 480. The stock could very well go down maybe to 470 if it were to take a little bit of a dip because it came off the mark. Again, just narrowly missed what they said. But I wouldn't be too surprised, guys. And if I were to take a little bit of a guess at it, I wouldn't be surprised to see Costco at the same level or even trading above this, or if it were below, just slightly below. I'd be very surprised to see this go below the 470 or 465 mark. It's not to say that that couldn't happen. It very well could, but I'd be surprised about that. That would take me aback about, take me by surprise about what happened in the market tomorrow, being Friday, December 9th. Guys, I hope this has helped you out, and I enjoyed doing these videos. I kind of look forward to this and seeing this, and this is just an analysis of one particular stock here at Costco. I'll try to do more on different companies as they come out, and I hope this helps you guys out. And this channel is all about it's about remote traders and remote accountants. If you're a remote accountant, by the way, looking for positions, I've got a Facebook link down here below, Facebook accounting group. I do not have a traders group on Facebook. I don't know if I'll ever do that. As much as I'd like to own one, I just don't like to see all the spammy stuff that comes on the trader groups and all that. I get a lot of spam as it is on my accounting group. I can't imagine the trader groups. I have seen a lot of things related to trading that's just a lot of spammy material, but I don't know. I might change my mind on that as the weeks progress and just maybe create one. But right now for accountants, you can go on that channel and find positions and all that and network on there. So if you're a remote accountant like myself, you can go ahead and just take advantage of that. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. It'll be the last one to post about Costco for this particular earnings call. And we'll try to get on to different securities as we see. And remember, guys, just to make sure that you do your own research again, and you just make sure that you place the best trades you possibly can and understand it as best you can, because investing can be risky, as I always say in my videos. Okay, guys, take care.